welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of Tiger Sports Page. I'm Angelina Niavez, covering for Angelina Lopez, who is currently under the weather. We're joined today by Lancaster High School head football coach, Leon Paul. Hello, Coach. How are you?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm good. Great. We're going to jump right in then.
Let's do it.
Just give us a 1-minute autobiography of head coach Leon Paul.
1 minute autobiography of me is I'm a very, very blessed guy to be married to Shanae Paul. That's my wife, and we share 4 beautiful children. Oldest is Kaylin, then you got Robin, then you got Kennedy, and then you got Ryan. Graduated in college in 2008. That's when I started my coaching career. My first stop was at South Grand Prairie. Was there for 2 years, and I went to Crowley, then Kennedale, then back to Crowley. Then from 2016 to 2021, I was at Duncanville, where we played for back-to-back state championships in 2018, 2019. And then in 2021, I was blessed with the opportunity to be the head football coach here at Lancaster. And this is going on my 4th year here, where the past 3 years we was able to make playoffs. And last year we was able to climb to the 4th round.
Sounds pretty good. So take us on the journey of this football season. From last February when they announced the new district alignment, what has been your planning and preparation, and how has the coaching staff that you have executed this plan?
So I believe everyone has executed this plan well, even though it doesn't seem like it with our record being 0-3. I made sure that we played against the top competition in the state, let alone the country. North Crowley, week 1, I want to say they're ranked number 10 in the United States of America. And one thing that we found out about that game is we can play with anybody. We just can't beat ourselves. If we don't beat ourselves, then we can beat anybody. And we was within the score from winning that game. And then week 2, I want to make sure that we play champions because our mindset is we're going to be champions this year. So in order to beat champions, you have to see champions and you have to know what it is to play against a champion. That's why I want to play Alito, and they're ranked number 1 in 5A. And we played them well, and we had chances to win that game, but came up short by a score. And then last week, I wanted to play a traditional powerhouse, which is Hebron, and they won state championships in the past, several years. And we played them last week and came up short by 1 point. So the lesson that we learned through our losses are we can play with anybody. We just have to be able to not beat ourselves. And if we don't beat ourselves, then we're going to be in pretty good shape to have a long season.
Great plan. Do you know how the players have executed this plan for you? And if you could you give us some examples for that?
Yes, for instance, our motto this year has been play 16 games. And in order to play 16 games, especially with the district that we have to make sure that we're playing at a level that we can beat schools like Duncanville, DeSoto, Waxahachie, Cedar Hill, Mesquite. So in our preseason, we wanted to play teams that are very competitive with those schools. And North Crowley, I believe, is competitive with those schools. North Crowley just beat DeSoto. So we wanted to make sure that we could play at that type of level. And our kids did a great job coming out and competing. And every game is coming to the 4th quarter. Now we have to win the 4th quarter. So we learned a lot of lessons throughout our first 3 games, which is preseason. And I love preseason for that reason because you get to learn about your team. However, preseason doesn't determine if you make playoffs. So now we're in district play, and we plan on making sure that we finish games in district.
You've consistently stated, and as well as previously in this interview, that the goal for your team is to make playoffs, then fight for a championship. We're just a few games into this season, and at the time of this recording, how are you and your staff framing that message for the players? And if you could, just give us a few examples of that.
So right now, we're very confident. The lessons that we learned early, and we're so blessed to have learned those lessons early. A lot of teams don't play teams that can punch them in the mouth early on. They play teams to build confidence. That's why I'm different. And I play teams that are going to punch us in the mouth because I want to know how my team is going to punch back, or if my team is going to punch back. And if they don't, then I have a more serious issue than just playing in other games and hoping to win. So the good thing about our team is our team can take a punch and they can deliver a punch. We just got to stop punching ourselves. And once we stop doing that, I think that the sky's going to be the limit. I asked those kids to make sure that they're competitive in every game. And in every game, if you came to, you see that we're very competitive. And even though we're 0-3, we're one of the state's best teams. And we're going to make sure that we show that through our district play.
Of course. So, following into that, how has the move from 5A to 6A affected you in your planning or even your coaching? What has been your biggest challenge caused by the school's elevation? Or if it's not been a challenge at all, why do you think not? And if you could, give us just one example, maybe.
So when I first took over this job in 2021, with our scrimmages, we have been scrimmaging teams that are bigger than us in enrollment. Like my first year here, we scrimmaged Cedar Hill and we scrimmaged Lamar. And for the last 2 seasons, we've been scrimmaging DeSoto in preparation to be a 6A school. I kind of already knew it was going to happen, so I wanted to make sure that our teams were prepared to play at a 6A level. That's why the last 2 years we always had Skyline and Denton Geyer in our preseason, and in a state championship, South Oak Cliff in our district. I mean, in our preseason, so we would be ready for playoffs. And I think that has prepared our mentality more than anything about playing at the 6A division, because for us, it's really nothing new. The only thing new that we have to do is make sure that we finish games.
Yeah, sounds good. If you could you project that question onto your staff, maybe?
I sure can. I will. I'll make sure that's done today.
Got you. Lastly, starting with this question, how has the team dealt with that? Do you think they've had some struggles as well, or even none at all?
So I don't believe our team had any struggles. I believe our team understands the reason why we made our preseason so hard. And anytime you're playing against a championship team like North Crowley or Aledo, there's a chance that you'll win if you execute everything properly, and you have a team like we have. We have a really, really good team. So there's always a chance that we win. But when you play against champions, there's always going to be a chance that you lose. And in order to be a championship, you can't be afraid to lose if you want to be a championship team. And I'm so glad that our kids stepped up to the challenge, and they wasn't afraid to lose. As far as we don't think we lost, we think we ran out of time. And then we ultimately don't think that we lost. We think that we learned some valuable lessons. So this is just going to give our kids confidence to be able to play anybody, when we know that we should have had we should very easily be 3-0 instead of 0-3. It wasn't anything that we didn't do to ourselves that made us become beat.
Okay. If you could you walk us through the new district, and without giving any away secrets from scouting, could you break down each team that there is?
I can. We can start off by this weekend. This weekend we're playing against Mesquite Horn. Mesquite Horn has a plethora of Division I prospects. Their coaching staff has been together for a couple of years, and they do a really good job. His first year over there, they made playoffs, and then last year, had a minor setback. But that's going to make them come stronger than ever. And right now, we're 0-3, and their record is better than ours. So I know that they're going to believe that they can beat us, and they're going to play us pretty good. So we have to make sure that we prepare for them just like we would prepare for a North Crowley or DeSoto. Speaking of DeSoto, DeSoto is a powerhouse. DeSoto is picked to win 6A Division II again. And they have the athletes and they have the coaching staff to do that. So they're going to be a really tough opponent. We're going to have to bring our A game when we play them as well. Duncanville is off to a really great start. They're undefeated right now and took down a powerhouse out of Maryland this past weekend. So I know that they are on the same level as they've always been, and their expectation is to win district. But that's our expectation too. So we're going to have to make sure that we're very prepared when we play them. Cedar Hill is a team kind of like us, where Cedar Hill in non-district played some state-ranked teams, and they had some success, but they fell short in a couple of games. So I know when we play them next week, they're going to be hungry for a win, just like we're hungry for a win. With Mesquite, I know that recently their head coach left, but I know that the coach that's taken over is a really good coach. He's going to have those guys ready to play. He's going to have those guys having playoff expectations. So we're going to have to prepare for them as if they're one of the top teams as well. Now, when you get to schools like Waxahachie has been a powerhouse for a long time. Waxahachie is off to an incredible start this season, where I believe they're undefeated. So right now, I know that their expectation is they can win district, but so is ours. So we're going to have to be we're going to have our good foot forward when we play them.
Well, thank you so much. Have I forgotten to ask you any questions, or do you have anything to add?
I do. One of our themes this year is we have to have faith in us. And a definition of faith is the assurance of what you hope for. And what we hope for is a state championships and the evidence of what we do not see. And just because we're 0-3 and a lot of people don't see us playing in the state championship, don't mean that we're going to lose faith in it. But that's the exact definition of faith. We hope to play in the state championship, so we're going to prepare every week to play in the state championship. And we're going to make sure that what is not seen is seen. So the people that don't have faith in us right now, we're going to make sure that by the end of this year, you have faith in us and you keep faith in us.
Pretty good mindset to have. Thank you guys for joining us for today.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.